Hello, my name is Richard Anthony Marca, and this is my individual progress update for Sprint 3 and 4 for the Gemo group. And this will be the breakdown of my labor of what I've done. So for the last two sprints, I worked on three things: the splash screen, which is creating a splash screen while the app is loading. The implement user matching system, which is a way for users to be put in a queue and wait to be matched to a session, and a refined user matching system where it integrates the matching and queue to work with Firebase, as well as with text chat and video chat. And I completed these all and done by myself. And the first story point was 3, the second one was 8, and the last one was 3 as well. The last one probably should have been a 5, judging by how much work I did on it. But in total, it's, I guess, 14 story points with 1,280 minutes, because Blast Screen wasn't too complicated. Didn't take me too long. Refining was took less time than implementing because it was already used. But regardless, I will show you the application. Let me reset it so you can see the splash screen that pops up. So with a hot restart, there's the splash screen with the logo. We're going to add this background to it. I'll cut that. So, and now that we're in the home page, if I type in, I'm just going to use my keyboard for this, but my CBU email .edu, then I put in the password. So that is this. Here we go. We have a placeholder for browse categories. If you click on it, they're not really clickable yet, but you can scroll through them. And this is another future thing we're going to add, is looking for tutors, searching for specific categories. So if I do, this one is going to be in Sprint 5, so it's not going to work yet. And this is for profile, which this is for Grace's, but I could we this is our this is my let me move that out of the let me move this over here. This is my profile. So let's just say if I was a tutor, if I wanted to change, I'm bad at physics. It saves. Well, it doesn't because it's not used yet. I'm not going to have this in here then. But if we do a new chat, here is a chat that it gets connected to. Type a message. Hello. It gets added to the Firebase. And here are the branches for this update. If you go under feature user matchmaking, this is the one I worked on. And as you can see, if I go under the commits. There's a lot of commits during this time, but the ones from me, I got a good amount too. I have, especially from when this sprint started, which was about the, let's just say the 4th to the 26th. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 commits where I did a lot. Where I did a lot of merging, added new stuff. So if I go under for mine, the library, if I go under main, you're going to see that there's a lot more new things in main where I combined some stuff. Here is the map, the My app. We're initialize it with Firebase. Added the waiting for match screen. So more screens to add to get us to different areas. This was left over from the other testing for the video, so it doesn't go to the splash screen right now, it goes to join screen. If I go under services for matchmaking, this is the stuff I added for it, and unfortunately another one of my partners decided to do matchmaking as well. So I tried to do as my best as I can to merge both of our things together. If I go to the screens, the waiting for match screen, this has a bunch of matchmaking things where I added logger, the waiting for match screen, match a route name. If I go down here, we got these new matchmaking service and Firebase authentication. And this logger is just so I could log stuff. It's not, I was getting told from the IDE that it's not a good practice to use print, so I'm using logger. So this is to join the queue. And if the user is not null, it has a log that says joining the queue and it joins the chat queue. And else, no longer the user is logged in, cannot join the queue. So that this is to leave the queue. So you can successfully show if you successfully left the queue. This is to dispose of the waiting for match screen. And this is just how it's supposed to look. For the text chat screen, a lot of this is new where we add a chat ID string where we require super.key in this chat ID because in order to be in the chat, you have to have the chat ID. And a participant name. So text entity controller, Firestore, authentication, and matchmaking service to go back to the matchmaking service. This is the fetch to participate, the participant name. So you get the name of the other participant. And this is the put it into Firestore. And if the document doesn't exist, then the chat document is not found in Firestore, and it returns it. And if user ID is not null, it puts it into Firestore. And this is the use mounted for synchronization stuff. Send a message for sending a message, waiting for Firestore, leaving the chat where it's able to show that the person has left the chat, more logging stuff. Some of this stuff is from another teammate that decided to create a matching as well. So this is kind of their stuff, and I try to intermingle mine with theirs. And this is just others. They created a chat bubble widget, which I do like, and I would like to add. Here's the splash screen, which I did during the 3rd sprint. or it created a splash screen able to navigate the sign in. So if it is mounted for synchronization stuff and just more stuff, this is how it looks, and we use the image, which should be right. Hmm. Here, this is a delay for just a delay for it. Oh yeah, here's the image right here. I knew it was somewhere around here. Here it is right here. And that's under the images library, gemo.png. For some reason, there's two of them. Don't know why. One's a capital PNG, one's a lowercase PNG, but it's just can't really zoom out without like zooming out everything. But yeah, this is the Gemo. Back to the splash screen. If I go under the chat home screen, I put some more logger stuff in here to make it just flow better. And if we go, this is for Matchable, Logger, more Logger stuff, new chat reference. This is just a bunch of widgets to make it look better. This is just visual stuff for the light gray background and to send it to the correct screen. That's should be pretty much it. Unfortunately, if I go to testing, which I found out from them, if I go to the testing file, it'll be better to show off from here. If I go on to the testing branch and click commits and go under my name, the last thing they added from mine was the splash screen because someone else worked on the matchmaking, which I wasn't too thrilled about, and hopefully we have no more issues of working on the same thing, but they didn't want to use my stuff because they're worried that because since they created the text screen that my stuff could break theirs. So I don't think it would, but they just don't want to risk it. So I'll just do what they say. It's just I was pretty disappointed that they didn't want to add my stuff to testing, but it's too late now. Just gotta go with it. And those are the that is the code that I added, which hopefully after this video they would add it to testing, but as you can see, I did do a lot of work. I just hope they're willing to put it in the final testing and have me have my changes in there. But that is the end of this video. Hopefully the next individual sprint is better.